Hey, what's up, swaggers? This is Math for Swaggers, and today we're going to be introducing roots and exponents. First of all, let's explain what exponents are and what they mean. Exponents are a way to express how many times a number, which is called the base, is multiplied by itself in mathematics. In this example, the number 5 would be the base, and the number 2 the exponent. Because the exponent is a 2, we can refer to the number as 5 to the power of 2, or 5 squared. So all 5 squared means is 5 times 5, which is equal to 25. Now let's talk about the most common root types, the square and cube roots. Roots are the opposite operation of exponents. So the first number we can see is called the square root of 25, and the sign on top of it is known as the radical sign. And if you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm your math teacher, Rad-Isa. And I know you're thinking, hey, Rad-Isa, that's your name. And even though you're right, rad is the abbreviation of radical. Try not to get these two confused. Alright, swaggers, if you look over the radical sign, you can probably see a red 2. And it's important to remember that 2 is invisible. When you see a radical sign that doesn't have any number on top, that means it's a square root. So when you see a square root, all you have to ask is what number multiplied by itself is equal to the number under the radical sign. In this case, it's 5, because 5 times 5 is equal to 25. Okay, let's try another example. Square root of 49. What number times by itself is equal to 49? 7. Well done. Okay, onto cube roots. Same thing, except now the question is what number is multiplied by itself by 3 to get the number under the cube root. Our example is the cube root of 1,000. So 10 times 10 times 10. Or 10 cubed / 10 to the power of 3. But Rad-Isa, I still don't know how to differentiate a square root from a cube root. It's okay, bro. I'll explain. So, as I previously said, if you see no number over the radical sign, that means it's a Whoa! I was about to do the worst mistake of my career. Oh my god, hold on. That means it's a square root. But if you see a 3 on top of the radical sign, that means it's a cube root. Okay guys, hopefully you understand my explanation, but if you didn't, I'll go over a little recap just to make sure you understand, because I'm so graceful and kind and sweet and nice and, it's just a never-ending list, so let's just get onto it. Okay, so the square root of 9 is equal to 3. That's because 3 times 3 is equal to 9. Another way of writing that is 3 squared. Now, it's important to know that there are also other roots and exponents, not just squared and cubed. So if you see any other number before the radical, that means how many times the number is being multiplied by itself to get the number below the radical. I know, it sounds very complicated, but hopefully after this example you'll understand it better. So for this example, I chose the fifth root of 32. Again, all it means is what number is multiplied by itself 5 times to get 32. That number is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? I think. I don't know how many times that was. Okay, basically, what I'm trying to say, you see how hard that is? They created exponents for this. So 2 to the power of 5, way easier, is equal to 32. Now, if I see any comments saying, well, 2 times 5 isn't actually equal to 32, have you learned nothing? No, I'm joking, guys. 2 times 5 is 10, but that's not what exponents are. But let me explain this example. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. Now, do you understand that it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? Question mark. Hopefully you do, because I'm moving on. Now that you hopefully understand what I've just said, here is a list of the perfect roots from 1 to 15. There's more, way more, but you don't need to learn all these. Now, if I were you, I would take a screenshot of this and I would keep that like the sacred key to life, because oh my god. What do you mean by perfect roots? Well, you'll see. Here are some examples of imperfect roots. And thankfully you don't have to memorize these for school. Okay guys, quick recap on what we've learned this lesson. The radical sign with nothing in front, is a square root. A radical sign with a 3 on top is called a cube root. And exponents are how many times there's a typo there. Hopefully you won't cancel me for it. How many times the base is multiplied by itself. And hopefully you've also taken a screenshot of the perfect roots and tried to memorize them. Quick! What's the square root of 81? Leave your answers below, guys. Yo, now you get to listen to my cool outro. This is Math for Swaggers, and I'll stop with the chatters and clap your hands and up your stand, cause the rad math teacher had the subscribing feature. Yeah.